Welcome back to Big Mouth and welcome to Big Mouth Live. And I'm awaiting my first visitors on the stream. We've got one viewer. Is he a floater? Is she a floater? How do they identify? It's not just he or she anymore. I don't know the hundreds of identities. I'm trying to learn them to be respectful to people. Scott Edwards, what's up? What's up, Scott, my dude? How are you doing tonight? I've got an article from Cinema Blend confirming Nightwing is in development with Warner Brothers Pictures. Very, very exciting. We are also going to be talking about Loki. We have two people in the chat. I want to get a few more people in before we start talking. We've got 3 people in the chat. Floater, regular, who knows? Isn't it exciting? Who knows who's here? Scott Edwards. I thought Loki was okay. Scott, I was disappointed, to be honest. I thought Tom Hiddleston and Owen Wilson were sensational. I think the concept's okay. But my God, did they waste the whole fucking 53 minutes. Oh my God, it was so slow. It was like Loki's greatest hits. I mean, really, it's cheating the public as far as I'm concerned. So I was hugely disappointed. Apparently the second episode will move a bit faster, which is good, but they really dragged their heels purposely, which is disappointing considering they have 6 episodes, right? I don't think they've got much of a concept here. I don't think there's much to do. This is like watching an episode of a kind of a procedure. There's a serial killer going around killing these time people, and it's a version of Loki, and that's pretty much it. Even the explanation of the multiverse in animation was so underwhelming as far as I'm concerned. So, as I say, and you know what? This whole thing where we're going to make Loki all of a sudden a good guy, and he didn't enjoy killing those people and hurting people, that's absolute BS. We did find out that this Loki can't be fed back into the timeline, but because there's multiple versions of Loki, one of them potentially could go back to the central universe, I suppose. But I think what you're attempting to say was okay, but not brilliant, eh, Scott? And I would agree with that without putting words in your mouth. The best bit was when Loki got revenge on that security officer. I couldn't stand her, and I was going, yes, Loki. Apart from that, I wasn't overly excited over it. Scott Edwards, he was kind of a good guy post-Avengers in the movies. Was he? Was he? He was a villain. He was a villain in the first Thor movie, mate. In the first Thor movie, Loki betrayed his brother. He was literally kind of the villain of the movie in a way, wasn't he? Wasn't really a good guy. So he's not a good guy. He's a Scott Edwards, anti-hero in Ragnarok. Yes, in Ragnarok, but how about pre-Ragnarok? What about the first Thor movie? Sam Hughes, he was the villain in Thor and Avengers. After that, he's an anti-hero, yeah. But you know what? That's not what he really is. And you know, I want to see Loki. When I watch a Loki series, I want him being fucking badass. I don't want him slapped around by a bunch of people that I don't know. You know, we're watching Loki because we love him for what he was, right? This is why he's become brilliant. Tom's created a great character. I know he didn't create the character, but in live action, he created him. John, hi there. Hi there, John. One of my favorites. How you doing? So I was disappointed. I'm going to be honest, I found it boring. You know, in Big Brother, when they say, here's your best bits, they get him to this TVA and they say, here's your best bits. Bobcat, hey, Mickey, hey, Bobcat, how you doing tonight? Dave Ethan, hey, you all, hey, Dave. Yes, I found Loki episode 1 boring. They purposely dragged their heels. Scott Edwards, oh yeah, I'm on the 100th episode of Smallville. Are you watching it? Have you watched it? What's a fucking episode? Bobcat, I thought Loki was great. I respect your opinion, Bobcat, but I didn't. Sorry, Bobcat. It had some problems. What a problem was, it was like Loki's greatest hits. They dragged the pacing on purpose to waste time. Owen Wilson, Tom Hiddleston were great, no question. Scott Edwards, watching it tonight after work. Wow, you are going to see an amazing episode. An amazing episode. This is the episode where everything changes. Somebody's going to die. In fact, 2 people die and 1 person stays dead. How about that for a tease? Scott Edwards, is it a heartbreaking episode? Oh, yes. Oh, yes, it is a devastating episode. Clark's going to lose someone that's been everything to him his whole life. So it's a huge episode. There's players, there's involvement from other people in this. It's a very heartbreaking episode for Clark. Because he starts the episode really believing that he and Lana can actually get married and be together. But when you're Clark Kent, things are not going to run as smoothly as that. Scott Edwards, do you consider it the turning point for the whole show? Yes. Because from that moment onwards, it gets slightly darker. We start seeing more introductions of DC characters as well. And it really goes down this kind of direction. Because when you lose someone that vital to your life changes, especially at Clark's age. Now, by season 5, I think he's 18. So 18 or 19. So although Tom was a lot older, that's the age of the character on the show. And so, yes. Listen, I'm not surprised by what I saw from Loki. As I say, the concept is good. The idea is interesting. Clearly, it's going to get a bit faster in pacing, and maybe I will enjoy it a lot more. But that episode, they purposely dragged their feet, which I think is unforgivable. I think the problem is here with WandaVision, with Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and the premiere, the first episode of Loki, is these people have not much experience in making series television. Now, Warner Brothers Television have been making television shows, not just for DC, for 20, 30, 40 years. So they're proficient at it. They know what a long season needs, what a short season needs. We look at Superman and Lois. Superman and Lois, the pilot of Superman and Lois, is much better than the first episode of Loki. Last night, an episode of Superman and Lois aired that gave us a major twist. This has got to be one of the most rewarding comic book TV shows I have ever seen, and it's for my favourite character. It's a sensational piece of creativity. It's brilliant. It's one of the best TV shows, let alone for DC, that I've ever seen. And this is one of the best versions of Superman, by the way. And so, Scott Edwards, oh man, are you caught up on Superman and Lois? No, but I'm seeing clips on YouTube. That's how I'm doing it. And I will buy the box set when it's available, but I can't watch it at the moment, unfortunately, Scott, which is disappointing, but maybe it's better. I'll watch it on Blu-ray in a proper, I can watch the end credits, I can see the bonus features, and I'll start it from the beginning as well. But I'm so impressed with this show because the reveal last night was something I didn't see coming, and I normally see everything coming. It was sensational. This is brilliant. This is the CW. And with this show, the CW are outdoing Disney and the MCU, Marvel Studios, and Disney+. Scott Edwards, any progress on Stargirl? No, sorry. Look, I want to be clear. I want to watch it. I love the character. I love the cast. I want to be supportive. I will watch it, I promise you. By the fall, as you call it, we call it autumn, I will watch it. And so what rating would I give Loki? I would give it maybe a 5 out of 10. And I think I'm being kind. I don't like being kind of tugged by creatives. And this really was so slow. Too many sequences from stuff we've seen already. And they were doing it on purpose. It was sad when Loki sees his mother die. I did cry. It was effective to me. But in terms of the pacing of the episode, it was too slow. And as I say, I think these Disney Plus Marvel shows are not going to do anything that really changes much. I know we've got a brand new Captain America, so that's contradictory. But these are just things to put on Disney Plus to make Disney Plus more money and give them branding and give them content. Scott Edwards, maybe watch it in time for special Flash 5 episode event. Yeah, I think that's a good idea, Scott. So I've got a bit of time, haven't I, till next season? What do we think of Cisco's exit? I thought it was pathetic. I thought it was freaking pathetic. Going down the jokey, lighter avenue was ridiculous. This lad's been in it since the pilot. He deserved better than that. The fans deserve better than that. And the show deserved better than that. Scott Edwards, Stargirl Season 2 premieres August the 10th. Right, let's get the aircon on. I did 20 lengths in my pool today, so my lungs are in a bit of a state. Right, everyone, are you ready? We'll go back to Loki in a minute. But a couple of hours ago, there was major DCEU breaking news. This is an exclusive from Sean O'Connell at Cinema Blend. DC's Nightwing director has an exciting update Dick Grayson fans will love. DC's comic film slate has been a mystery for a handful of years. There were announced feature films and then hope of a continuation of Zack Snyder's interpretation of the source materials. Some of those proposed movies like Blue Beetle are now heading for HBO Max. Others were presumed dead, lost in the shuffle of development hell, never to be heard of again. It's in that column that I had dragged Nightwing, a feature film once attached to the Lego Batman movie director Chris McKay. But when he came on Cinema Blend's official Real Blend podcast, he confirmed that Nightwing is still on the table at Warner Brothers and DC, and he hopes to begin working on it soon. This is from Chris. I hope it's still a reality. I hope that we still get to make that movie. As far as I'm concerned, it's not lost yet. It is obviously something they've had other priorities. They had other challenges. They had things that they needed to do, and I think that they found their way. I think their recent success and the stuff that they are planning on doing now, I think it opens the door for us to still be able to do a Nightwing movie. Whether you call it an alternate universe or you pick in their multiverse version, which universe it's part of, there are different ways into it. But Nightwing is a big action-packed emotional movie. It may not budgetarily be similar to what we do with the Tomorrow War. Wow, what's the Tomorrow War? That's interesting. But from a scope and scale standpoint, as far as the kind of action and the kind of heart, that's what Nightwing is going to be all about. Wow. I'm not able to comment on the Tomorrow War just yet. It's still under embargo. But I can tell you that the news that Chris McKay is still interested in directing a Nightwing movie and that he thinks the recent moves made by Warner Brothers suggest that it's actually more than possible, helped me to believe that this film is back on the table. And after umpteen Batman adaptations, including another soft reboot coming from director Matt Reeves and his leading man, Robert Pattinson, I think a detour into Bloodhaven is exactly what the Bat family needs. One of the developments that Chris McKay might be referring to is the greenlighting of a Batgirl movie. Interesting. That Bad Boys for Life directors Adil El Arbi and Be'al Fala are helming exclusively for HBO Max. This does mean that a Nightwing movie also could be developed for HBO Max, where a Bat family might potentially be being developed. That's what I think as well. Chris McKay could be aware of development plans that haven't been made public yet. So when we asked if Nightwing was dead, he made sure we knew it's still very much on the table in his mind. Scott Edwards, does the character that stays dead after episode 100 make any more appearances in Smallville at all? Yes, in the final season. Scott Edwards, I thought Cisco's goodbye episode was mediocre. I agree. Look for Chris McKay's The Tomorrow War starring Pratt when it lands on Amazon Prime starting on July the 2nd. I will do. So this is very, very exciting news. I remember how devastated Chris McKay was when this wasn't going to happen, when Nightwing wasn't going to happen anymore. And I think through Batgirl and through Blue Beetle and other projects on HBO Max, I think that Chris knows this is now going to happen. So Chris McKay's Nightwing is back on the table again and in development over at DC and Warner Brothers Pictures, and I couldn't be more excited. Let me know what you think in the comments. John, I stopped watching The Flash after season 2. That's what I should have done. I stopped watching it consistently, I think, after season 4 or 5. I can't remember now. I stopped watching all of them after that number season. First 2 seasons of Arrow and The Flash are sensational. Even season 1 of, what's it called? Legends of Tomorrow, I kind of enjoyed, but I started becoming tired of it. But you know what I think? I think Arrowverse is being wrapped up and they're going to do something new with TV DC over on HBO Max. And Superman and Lois is very much a part of that. So going back to Loki, I want your honest opinions about Loki episode 1. You've heard what I've got to say about it. My main problem is the pacing. I like Tom Hiddleston. Ben Pottimore, I'm excited for Blue Beetle movie. Hope Booster Gold will show up. I think he will. I think that's important. He has to, doesn't he? I mean, Greg Berlanti was developing. What's his name? I forgot already. Yeah, Booster Gold, that's it. Greg Berlanti was developing a Booster Gold movie a few years back. Scott Edwards, Superman and Lois has the same showrunner as The Flash seasons 1 and 2, Todd Helping. Exactly, Scott. And that's why that was so good. But this, my friend, is on another fucking level. Every week he's surprising and shocking us. I am so happy seeing that Superman is my utmost favourite fictional character of all time. Jesus is a goat. Would you recommend Falcon and the Winter Soldier? Oh, dear. What a question to ask me. This is what I'm going to say. When, what's his name? What's his fucking name? Who's the villain from Civil War? When the villain from Civil War is in it mid-season and he's teaming up with Bucky and Falcon, right? It's so good. But apart from Zemo, right, or Zemo, whatever, once he goes, that's it. It's not as enjoyable. It starts off okay, but once they start lecturing and being boring and virtue signaling, the entertainment aspect of the show leaves. And I don't think they represented Bucky as much as they should have done. This really was the Falcon TV show, one of the most boring characters in the MCU. Dave Ethan, is Marvel losing its charm? Well, I don't think to the mainstream audience, because it's still like, oh my God, the MCU, oh my God, Bucky, oh my God, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, oh my God, they just put something on. I'm just going to say it's good and say it's exciting, right? So to them, it's not losing their charm. They would really have to fuck up for people to actually go against them. For me personally, I think WandaVision was pretty cool. Falcon and the Winter Soldier was inconsistent. And the first episode of this, even though it's one of my favourite characters of the MCU, was too slow. Far too slow. The episode was boring and it dragged its feet far too much. And I expect better in the next episode. Scott Edwards, WandaVision was one of the best shows I've ever seen. I wouldn't go that far, but it was good. I enjoyed it. And I even enjoyed the finale. All right, the bonus stuff was ridiculous. But I was happy with it. I was happy. One mistake, though. Agatha shouldn't have been the villain. Wanda should have been the villain, not just of that show, but of the entire Phase 4. But it looks like she may be a villain in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. So that would be interesting. That would be very interesting. We have 9 people in the chat. We have 4 likes. I can live with that. 10 people in the chat. I am absolutely so humbled by the people who come in here. It might not be a great many people, but I appreciate the people who do come in here and show support, because I'm an incy little YouTuber. Little. So little, I'm a smurf, right? Scott Edwards, would you say Superman and Lois is better than Smallville? Oh, this is how I'm going to say this. You can't compare them right now. Smallville was consistent for 10 seasons, and it did so many inventive things, and it was emotional, and it was compelling, and it was action-packed, and it was emotional. So for me to say now that Superman and Lois is better than a pre-Superman show would be outrageous. At this point, I think Smallville is the best comic book TV show ever made. And people are going to throw Daredevil at me and this and that. But Daredevil had, what, 2 or 3 seasons? Smallville had 10 seasons and was consistent and did some fantastic things. So Smallville's the absolute best. So if Superman and Lois goes on for many, many years, I'll probably put it on the same par. It's unfair to judge the shows because one's a pre-Superman story and one's... But what I like about Superman and Lois, and if you watched my pre-recorded video back in the day before I was going live, I did say that before it came out, I was very excited about how kind of experimental the concept was. That this was Superman and Lois with 2 kids living in Smallville. That kind of interested me. I like the fact that one of them's got powers, the other one hasn't. But what do we think? Do we think that that guy is now Zod? Who is he? Who is he? What a twist that was. John, just sent you a like. Thank you. I appreciate it. 5 likes. 5 likes, comments. That's what the algorithm needs. Obviously, the more people who watch, the better. Ben Pottimore, do you think... Ben Pottimore, do you think Blue Beetle movie will have a small Booster Gold cameo? I think he could play a big part, by the way. I think he'll play more than a cameo. Elizabeth Molino, Dave Ethan agreed. What did Dave say? I think the intelligent fans can see that these Disney Plus shows are not exactly in the same level of writing quality as the movies, but they're not supposed to be. They're supposed to waste time in between the movies so they can keep the franchise going and make money for their streaming platform. But I was thinking this. I kind of suspect that the DC streaming shows could potentially be better because WB have more experience in doing television. And I think with the concept of Green Lantern Corps, for example, set in different times as well with different lanterns, that excites me. So that's very interesting. Once we get Peacemaker, Green Lantern, Gotham PD, I'm going to be comparing those shows with these Disney Plus Marvel shows. It's going to be very, very interesting. Scott Edwards, Superman and Lois is better than Batwoman. Scott, if I sneezed on this laptop right now I'm talking into, that would be better than Superman and Lois. Elizabeth Molino, Scott Edwards, and it's better than WandaVision and Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Oh, definitely. Superman and Lois, Elizabeth, is one of the best things I've ever seen. Ever seen. And I think, Elizabeth, you may be the first woman we've ever had on the chat. We need more women. We need more diversity on my channel. We can't just have a bunch of sweaty blokes, can we? Look at me sweating. Ben Pottimore, I think Morgan Edge is Zod. That was my first thought. Yeah, that would be the obvious thing. But what if he's Supergirl's dad from another universe, right? What if he's Zor-El? Because in Smallville, Zor-El was a villain. Now, in the Supergirl movie, he wasn't a villain. Interesting stuff. He could be Zod. He could be a version of Brainiac disguised as a Kryptonian. But it was a twist. Honestly, right, that's one of the best twists I've seen since Jack Bauer's wife, Terry, was dead in the season finale of the first season of 24. That's how good it was. Or when Captain Jack Harkness hears the TARDIS at the end of Torchwood season 1. Dave Ethan, I saw a tweet another day, says those Disney Plus Marvel shows are infomercials for the movies. His words, not mine. BTW. I agree. That's what they are. They're infomercials. Look at Loki. We literally had to sit there for 20 minutes seeing Loki's best bits from films we've already seen. Scott Edwards, crisis rebooting the Arrowverse was a good idea. It's interesting, Scott. Superman and Lois is very interesting to me. They've purposely kept it apart from the rest of the Arrowverse. It's a really important show to them. And I think that's one of the reasons it's separate. They know that this is going to be the first one of these HBO Max shows, the new era of DC TV. And I think they really want to distance it quite a bit from Arrowverse. Why do you think Batwoman really wasn't in that? Scott Edwards, crisis rebooting the... Oh, I've already read that. More comments, please, before I go mad. When I look at the DC slate, okay, DC's had problems in live action. We know that. Scott Edwards, you have small references, but no direct connections yet. No, that's interesting to me. I mean, may it long continue. I'd rather that. It's such a good show. Don't ruin it. Please don't do a CW and ruin the third season and the fourth season. Please. You've done such a good job with the best superhero ever. Please keep up the good work. Please. So, oh my God, I forgot what I was saying now. John, do you think we will see John Henry Irons again? Definitely by the end of the season. Oh, he's got a big part to play. Yeah, as I was saying, DC hasn't exactly been consistent in terms of the mainstream audience and what they want and what DC hardcores want. Scott Edwards, who's main villain of season 6 and 7 of Smallville? Season 6 really is Clark going after the Phantoms that escaped the Phantom Zone, and Lex more than anyone is. Season 6 really is the rise of Lex Luthor. Season 7, I would say, interesting, Brainiac kind of. Elizabeth Molino, but with the recent drop in ratings in the DC TV shows, do you think the Arrowverse should end? Well, Elizabeth, that's a good question. Brilliant question, by the way, because I think they're phasing them out anyway. Black Lightning, gone. The last show that deserved to go, by the way, it's better than the other loads of shit they put out there, but Black Lightning's going. Supergirl, deservedly so, is going. They'll probably persevere with Batwoman for another 2 seasons, right? But those shows are being phased out because we're coming to a new DC TV era over on HBO Max. They want to feed us with better seats. So, yes, I think that the Arrowverse should end. I don't think it's their own fault, Elizabeth. It's their own fault. They've done this. They've watered it down so much to attract young women with a disposable, income. And that's the problem. These shows were being watched by people who were watching Daredevil, right? And the hardcore shows. And they didn't want those people watching them, right? So they wanted kids watching them. So they watered them down. Scott Edwards, the actors can carry over from Arrowverse. Well, as I say, Scott, I don't know. I think Stargirl will probably survive because that's kind of separate. Superman and Lois is hardcore. That's going nowhere, of course. But I think Elizabeth is absolutely spot on. She's asking the question and I'm answering it. It's time to phase Arrowverse out, and I think that's exactly what they're doing. Now, it doesn't mean these Arrowverse characters can't be part of the multiverse anymore. They could turn up in DCEU movies because we've got the multiverse strategy. Barry will be rebooting the universe. In the Flash movie or Flashpoint or whatever the final title is going to be. So it doesn't mean it's over for them. But I think in terms of the question Elizabeth asked, should they end? Yes, they definitely should end because they're not fit for purpose. I mean, you go onto TikTok and people are mocking the Flash every day. It's embarrassing. They've done it. It didn't have to be like this. In fact, it shouldn't be Berlanti running this universe. It should be Todd Helbing, the actual showrunner of Superman and Lois and the showrunner of seasons 1 and 2 of The Flash. Because that guy is fucking special. That guy is special. What he's doing with Superman and Lois and what he did with The Flash is sensational. Sam the Jam reviews. Is Booster Gold happening? I don't know. It's Greg Berlanti. I don't know. Maybe it'll become like an Arrowverse show or something in the end, because I can't see it. But Booster Gold will happen maybe with another creative, because he's a great character and a lot of DC fans really love him. I love him. I think he's great. I think he was great in Smallville. That's the only live action version I've seen. Nowadays, they'll probably make him a toxic male or something. Please, please, no. Jesus is a ghost. Stargirl gives me a Marvel vibe, but I still think it's okay. Yeah, it works. It works. Sam the Jam reviews. Ryan Gosling should play Booster Gold. What? No, not in my opinion. Scott Edwards, I hope I might get Superman appearance on Black Adam or Shazam 2. You'll get appearances in both movies from Superman. He'll play a huge part in Shazam Fury of the Gods, and he'll play a small part in Black Adam. I am very, very certain about that. If Henry Cavill was out in the DCEU, it would have been announced a long time ago. I think we will get an announcement for his appearance in Shazam, but not an announcement for Black Adam. John, have you seen the movie Steel with Shaquille O'Neal? Everyone asks me that. No, I've never seen it. Any good? Any good? So what do we think? Right, there's rumours. I keep on talking about this, but I want to get John, no. What was I going to say? Yeah, the rumours keep on coming in that The Rock could be the new DC Films president. Now, he does own his own production company with his agent, right, and his people. So he obviously knows about the corporate side. Would The Rock, right, I want your answers, right? I want your answers about this. Would The Rock make a good DC Films president, considering his background in wrestling, acting, and, you know, the kind of the jobs and the responsibility he has running a production company like $9 or $7, whatever it is? Would he make a good a DC Films president? Yes or no? Scott Edwards, yes, I agree. Ronnie Dodge, hey mate, sorry I'm late. How dare you? See me after school. Only joking. Hello, Ronnie. How are you doing? John, yes, I agree. Ben Pottimer, The Rock knows what the fans want. Yes, I agree. I think that's definitely right. I wonder. Ronnie Dodge, yes, I think he would make a good film. He knows his DC Comics. He knows the comics. He runs his own production company, $9 or whatever it is, right? I think this could actually happen. He's getting more and more involved. His production company is involved with the Super Pets movie as well. Sam Jan reviews. Ryan Gosling was good in La La Land and Blade Runner 2049. Oh, yeah, I love Ryan. I think Ryan's great. Ryan's a great lad. He's a great actor. I ain't got a problem with Ryan personally. Would Ryan want to do it, though? Would he? I don't know. Maybe Ryan can play a movie version of Sam Beckett. Who would play a good movie version of Sam Beckett and Al from Quantum Leap? Ronnie Dodge is involved in 2 DC projects, hitting cinemas next year. Yeah, I think we're coming to it. Listen, Elizabeth Molina, have you seen the cast of the Sandman Netflix series? And what are your thoughts on it? Yes, there's a lot of controversy there, Elizabeth. Now, I'm not going to profess to being an expert on Sandman. Now, there's a lot of gender swapping, race swapping, things like that. And that's something I normally don't like. But to be fair to Neil Gaiman, that's how the characters have always been. And so I don't have an issue with the casting as such, because as far as I know, and I'm not an expert, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Elizabeth, they've always been those genders from the beginning of his comic book run and his audio. So, yeah, so I can't really lose my shit about that. What I can lose my shit about is Neil's attitude towards fans who question this, who are not educated enough to understand. He should be more polite. You need people to watch this. Look what happened with Jupiter's Ascent, Jupiter's Legacy, right? Nobody watched it. You don't want the same thing to happen to Sandman. Now, I'm excited about Sandman. I don't know much about the character, but I think that Neil Gaiman is a very talented guy, and I'm very looking forward to that show, and I'm okay with the casting. Jesus is a goat. I just watched Still the other day. It was an art, but Shaq is just as terrible at acting as he is at free throws. Ben Pottimeyer, Zatanna is in Smallville. I know! Isn't that awesome? And she's a pretty good version, but they didn't unpackage that character. We didn't get much from her, which is a shame. But at least they referenced her and she was in the show. Ronnie Dodge, have you seen the pictures of Rachel in her golden armor from Shazam? Looks very Amazon to me. I haven't seen the pictures, so if you've got them and can show them to me, I'd really appreciate it. I heard that she's done them. Me and Rachel have sparred on Twitter before. I think I won't be on Rachel's Christmas card list. Sam Duran reviews. Mikey Sutton said Henry Cavill is wearing the black suit in Black Adam. How can he possibly know that? Come on. Although he could be there now, couldn't he? If he's wearing the black suit, Sam, that means that Zack was wrong and misleading because his Snyder Cut is connected to the DCEU. And let's remember something. That film is set in its timeline after Flashpoint, after the universe is rebooted. So if that was the case, that would be kind of interesting. But Mike, I don't know. It doesn't make sense why that would be. I haven't got a problem with that because the timeline of the Snyder Cut, it would make sense. But because you're rebooting the universe, you're rebooting the Snyder Cut as well. So I don't think he's right about that, but let's see what happens. Scott Edwards, do you like Ashoka Tano as a character? Molto bene. I love her. She's an amazing character. What Filoni did with Clone Wars, with not Spielberg, but with George Lucas, the characters they created, Ashoka is brilliant. And I think that they did a great job with her live action version as well. Can't wait for more of The Mandalorian. So, yes, I love that character, Scott. She's sensational. One of my favourites. Ahsoka! Sam Design Reviews. Mikey said Henry won't wear the red and blue suit until Man of Steel 2. I don't have any problem with that. But can there be a Man of Steel 2 when the universe is being rebooted? There can be a new film with Henry in it. I don't know. Maybe that's what he's alluding to. We'll have to wait and see. I just don't think Mikey can know this stuff. And if he does, respect to him. But I find all this a bit hard to believe about the black suit. But who knows? He could be right and I could be wrong. Scott Edwards, I'm so excited for her solo live action show. Oh, so am I. I forgot all about that, Scott. I can't wait. Ronnie Dodge sent them, mate, not the best. Right. I'm sure she looks fine. I'm joking. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it looks good. I like it. It's like gold, isn't it? No, I like it. I think she looks good. I'm happy with that. I do wish people to stop taking pictures. Let's just have them revealed. Scott Edwards, is Zatanna in Smallville? She is. Ronnie Dodge, Man of Steel 2, yeah, well, for JL2 and 3 in the original version, suits would have the black suit for half the movie and eventually went back to the red and blue. So it's plausible. It's only plausible, Ben, but how can it be plausible when we're rebooting the universe? That's what I'm saying. It's plausible in Zack's. If Zack does his Elseworld Justice League 2 and 3, it's plausible then. But I can't see in a rebooted universe how that's going to be a thing. But again, it's just my opinion. Scott Edwards, who exactly is President Superman? Right, there is a black version of Superman in the comics. He, instead of working in the Daily Planet, he becomes president of the United States and leader of the Justice League in his universe. He also becomes the leader of the Multiverse Justice League. And I think that's what we're getting, Scott. And I'm very excited for it. Ronnie Dodge, giving me Queen Hippolyta vibes. Yeah, definitely. So President Superman, if that's the black Superman they're going to adapt, would really excite me. because it doesn't look like to me they're race swapping Kal-El. I mean Clark. I don't think they're doing that because it looks like Clark's back anyway. So they can't really do that. And it's in his own, it's on another Earth. Now, it could be on another Earth, and it could actually be Clark Kent. We'll have to wait and see. But I think they would be missing a trick if they didn't go for President Superman, which is the best version. Scott Edwards, do you like Smallville version of Zod? I do. But you haven't actually met the Smallville version of Zod. The Smallville version of Zod will enter Smallville in season 9. Now, I know Brainiac had him in the Phantom Zone mirror, and you could see him coming up, but that will be answered in the finale. Big spoiler, Zod will take the body of Lex Luthor, so you won't see what Zod looks like, but he'll be in control of Lex by the end of season 5. Ben Pottimeyer. Right, Microsoft, can you go away? I don't want your pop-ups. I'm trying to read the comments. Right, where are we? Right. Ben Pottimeyer, the Superman that's president was inspired by Barack Obama, right? That's something I heard. It sounds like it. I just think it's a great idea to have those responsibilities and be Superman at the same time. How amazing. And to be the leader of your own Justice League and a multiverse Justice League. So I hope that's what they're doing. And I think this will tick their SJW tick, which I like, because he'll be president. They'll like that. They'll like a black man being president in the DC universe. So please do that. Please do that. He's the best character. Out of all the other black version of Superman in the comics, I like this one. Ronnie Dodge, Mike Sutton, sorry, but The Flash is a soft reboot. It's not forgetting things, but it's moving on. So having the black Superman suit after Flash makes no sense. That's why Shazam has a new suit, exactly. Now, again, we could be wrong, Ron, but it just doesn't sound plausible. But he could be right. He's right about a certain number of things. But, I mean, I wouldn't say he's one of the elite scoopers, but he obviously knows this and that. He must know other scoopers. But I just don't see how that's going to work. But we'll have to wait and see. Also, I don't think they would want a black-suited Superman. They really want to go for the traditional Superman now that they've got rid of Snyder. So, as I say, I find it very, very unlucky. Ronnie Dodge, have you seen Jack Grazer comments about Fury of the Gods? No, what did he say? This is a surprisingly good stream tonight. Everyone's on it tonight. I think it's fantastic. I do love passionate people who have got something to say for themselves. It really is. Ben Pottimeyer, Shazam's suit changed with Billy's imagination, like in the comics, maybe. Maybe. I'd like that. I'd like that. I didn't know that was a thing, but I'd like that. Scott Edwards, I think having Shazam 2 and giving Black Adam his own movie first makes sense. Save Black Adam and Shazam meeting for Shazam 3. Let me just read that again, Scott, because I was phased out. I think having Shazam 2 and giving Black Adam his own movie first makes sense. Save Black Adam and Shazam meeting for Shazam 3. Yes, I couldn't agree more. You don't want to rush these things because that's the big thing. And giving it a big build-up just amps up everybody's kind of excitement for it. So I agree that Black Adam does indeed deserve his own movie instead of being force-fed in Suicide Squad and things like that. Yeah, so I agree, and I can't wait for the Black Adam movie, especially knowing we're getting the JSA in it as well. How exciting is that? Although Snyder was showing some pictures, wasn't he, of the black-suited Superman from Man of Steel. Could it be that was a hint that Superman indeed is wearing black in Black Adam? You never know with Snyder. You never know. So if you do know what Jack Dylan Grazer said about Shazam, Fury of the Gods, please let me know, Ronnie. Scott Edwards, sounds like these will be the early days of the JSA. Well, you know what? I suppose it could be. I don't know. But, yeah, I would like a kind of JSA origin so we know where they're from. So, but actually what contradicts that, Scott, is that Pierce Brosnan is playing Dr. Fate and he's quite old. So maybe it's not the early days of the JSA. Ronnie Dodge, send you the Screen Rant article. Thank you, my friend. I'll read it out right here, right now in a moment. Ben Pottymeyer, I'm starting to think Shazam and Black Adam won't even meet. The Rock wants to fight Henry Superman. He's never mentioned going up against Shazam, so I don't know. Ben, you're wrong. Sorry, you're wrong. The people behind Shazam, and I think actually The Rock has mentioned it before, the whole plan has always been, I think it was one of the producers of Shazam who mentioned it, they are waiting for Shazam 3 for them to fight. Just because he wants to fight Superman doesn't mean he can't fight Shazam. Your logic makes no sense there, Ben. Kavari, Space Jam 2 trailer 2, out thoughts. Haven't seen it. Ronnie Dodge, done it, mate. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Right, let's have a look at this. Shazam 2 star Jack Dylan Grazer says the sequel gets away with even more than the first film. The script is hilarious. It's funnier than the first one, I'd have to say. I tell you what, a lot of Snyder fans are going to have something to say about this, but let's give it a read. Shazam 2, get away with more than original teases, star. Let's say that again. Shazam 2 gets away with more than original teases, star. Jack Dylan Grazer reveals new details regarding the DC Extended Universe's Shazam Fury of the Gods, including getting away with more than the first by Grant Hermans. Jack Dylan Grazer has revealed new details regarding the DC Extended Universe's Shazam Fury of the Gods, including it getting away with more than the first. Shazam 2 production is finally underway on the highly anticipated sequel in Atlanta after a delay due to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. The original film centered on a rebellious teenage orphan, Billy Batson. A rebellious teenage orphan, Billy Batson. Also, he's imbued with the powers of the titular hero by the same name magician and tasked with preventing the release of the 7 deadly sins. The ensemble cast for the film, God, I've got something in my eye, Jesus Christ. The ensemble cast for the film included Zachary Levi as Shazam and Asher Angel as Billy, with Jack Dylan Grazer starring as best friend and superhero fanatic Freddie Freeman, and Mark Strong as the villainous Dr. Phaedra Sivana. All except Sivana are slated to return for the sequel, while Rachel Ziegler, Helen Mirren and Lucy Liu are all set to star in the film as antagonistic daughters of Greek god Atlas. While the sequel will feature a lot of the same crew in front of and behind the camera from the original, set photos have revealed a new Shazam costume for Levi, and it sounds like that's not the only thing shifting gears from the predecessor. While chatting with Collider to discuss his role in Pixar's upcoming Luca, Grazer opened up on some new details for the highly anticipated DCEU sequel. In addition to revealing that the team is doing things they weren't able to do with the original film, Grazer tackled a bit about a new costume seen in the film and its script, though stopped himself short in fear of pulling a Tom Holland. Read what Grazer had to say below. It's a great cast. We got Helen Mirren, we got Lucy Liu, we got the new up and coming star Rachel Ziegler from Steven Spielberg's West Side Story. The script is hilarious. It's funny. It's funnier than the first one. I'd have to say we're getting away with a lot more this time. It's action-packed and it's got twists and turns. It's super duper fun. The costume is different, no hood, and the shoes kind of look like Iron Man shoes. Oh wait, no, Iron Man doesn't exist. Who's Iron Man? So that's good. A bit of fun there from Jack. Ronnie Dodge, if they're going to announce Man of Steel sequel, and it will be an if. If they're going to announce a Man of Steel sequel, and it will be a big if. Karari, what about Stargirl? What about Stargirl? Ronnie Dodge, it will be announced at the Fandom, and Snyder will be not back. End of the story. Say that again. Ronnie Dodge, it will be announced at Fandom, and Snyder will be not back. End of story. Ronnie Dodge nearly spoiled Superman cameo. I'm betting knowing Jack. Though the original may have taken a fairly standard approach to introducing its hero in the DCEU, it certainly helped break some of the tropes known to the genre and its self-aware humour and willingness to chalk everything up to magic instead of trying to ground it in any sci-fi fashion as the MCU has done time and again. To hear Grazer's comments that director David F. Sandberg and the crew are taking risks and being allotted to do more with the sequel is enticing for the fans. Expanding the film's scope to include at least 3 villains certainly points towards a more pulse-pounding challenge for Levi's hero and confirming Sandberg's promise of a bigger film. While Billy now having his own superhero family, though, the fight will certainly be easier for the group in Shazam! Fury of the Gods. As production continues on the film and Sandberg continues to offer more teasers from the sequel, fans may have 2 years to wait for the film's arrival, but are sure to see material in the coming months. Plus, with the DC fandom returning this October, audiences may very well get a proper glimpse of the DCEU title as early as this year. Yeah, I think we'll get a trailer for sure, so that's exciting. Oh, someone reckons the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer is tomorrow. Interesting. Right. Well, you can send it, Scott. You can send it. I'll read it quickly. Scott Edwards, I was going to send you a short Stargirl article. Hopefully, it's quite short because my throat's going here. Kavari, I feel like Walter Hamada wants a Superman movie. Well, anyone running DC films who's sane would want a Superman movie, right? Ben Pottinger, WB doesn't deserve Snyder. He should move on and do his thing. Well, I mean, if they don't deserve him, he should definitely move on. I mean, why hang around at a place where you're not deserved? Bobcat, sorry I was watching Loki again. Wow. Ronnie Dodge, I love Henry as Superman and would love more of him, but I'm more excited to see Supergirl in the DCEU, and I think Sasha will kill the role. Never, 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 Ronnie. I will never. I mean, obviously, that's your preference, and that's cool, but I would never, ever look forward personally to Supergirl over Superman. Superman's the man. Superman's number one. In any DC live-action franchise, Superman should be front and center alongside Supergirl. That's cool. But a DC live-action universe without no Superman, no thank you. I'll pack my bags and leave right now. Dave Ethan, got to split. You see? Got to split. You all. See you all. Bye, Dave. Thanks for dropping by. Bobcat, it's a good show. It's funny. You know what? I recall you saying it was funny when I was watching it. And I mean, I did love him getting revenge on the security guard because what a bitch she was. She deserved everything she got. There was a couple of moments, but I didn't think I've seen funnier stuff. I wasn't over impressed, Bobcat. I didn't hate it, but I felt a little bit underwhelmed. I'll be honest. Bobcat, see you, Dave Ethan. Scott Edwards just sent it. Right, this is the last article I'm going to read. Actually, this could be interesting. Ronnie Dodge, I want a Superman being Superman, not being a depressing person. Sorry, Snyder. And yes, I'm anti-Snyder at the moment. Well, Henry can come in and play the Superman that he's always wanted to play, because I think he agrees with you there as well. So Henry Cavill coming in doesn't mean anything negative. He's still Superman. He's still going to be in those suit. He's going to be in Shazam! Fury of the Gods, and he's going to be in Black Adam anyway. So if anyone who doesn't actually want that, it's happening. Kavari, I think Walter wants Henry as Superman, but JJ wants his own new Superman. Well, obviously, the black Superman he's producing is separate, so obviously you can't have Henry Cavill as a black Superman. I actually feel that JJ will go with Henry Cavill, and he's the one who will direct Henry in his movie. Elizabeth Molina, if the rumors of the Flash movie rebooting the DCEU, are you hopeful for the future of DC films? Oh, absolutely. That's given me great hope, because this is the multiverse strategy, Elizabeth. And actually, Andy Muschietti, the director of the Flash movie, actually his sister, who's his producer and work partner, actually confirmed that in last year's Fandom that there will be a reboot and some kind of resetting of the DCEU. So I'm very hopeful. That's a good thing. Because I love Zack's DC movies. That's not the point. As movies, they're great. But as a franchise, from Man of Steel to Wonder Woman 84, the franchise simply has no consistency and doesn't work. They need to do this. Having Blue Beetle, having all these different characters, making everyone in the multiverse canon, Elizabeth, is so exciting for me. And yes, it excites me for the future of this franchise. Finally. Bobcat, if Superman is front and center, then Batman should be too. If you like. As long as he stands behind Superman like he should, lifting up his cape while he's walking. Right, Ronnie Dodge, I do wonder if the Flash will cause him to have a new suit or if it will be the same. Interesting. They may go for something a bit controversial. They may bring the red shorts back. You didn't hear that here. Bobcat, and if Batman is front and center, then Superman should be too. Good point. Ronnie Dodge, the Trinity need to be up front and center. Need more Gal as Wonder Woman. Sorry, Gal haters. Does anyone hate Gal? Who hates Gal? Ben Pottimeyer. Superman was going through what you call a story arc. It's meant to develop the character and the feel for him. Henry Superman was not depressed. He was acting out a character arc. Come on, people. Listen, I don't mind it, but it's not the Superman really from the comics, is it? It's somebody else's vision. Fine. But it's not attractive to a broader audience. That's the problem. I don't mind it. I can live with that arc and then do another arc like they were planning. I mean, Zack was even going to do his own Flashpoint. I'm fine with it. But we've got to think about the success of this franchise as well, right? Bobcat, Superman is cool, but Batman is just cooler than me. He can be cooler than you, but he's never cooler than Superman. Right, Stargirl Season 2. Villain Eclipso is very disturbing, says Star Joy as Mansky. He's really scary. Wow. And I mean, this is on the CW. How scary can he be? Superman's cool. Just Batman is just cooler to me. Oh, fair enough. It's always good to have a few people to wave the flag for Batman, saying Superman is so superior and much more loved. Joy Osmansky has discussed the upcoming deeper and darker second season of the show. The superhero series is scheduled for August later this year, and according to the Tigress Star, in a recent interview with Digital Spy, new supervillain Eclipso, who was teased at the end of season 1 and is played by Nick E. Tarabay, will be a terrifying foe for the JSA. For me personally, the kind of evil that this character manifests is something that I find very disturbing, and I think people will find very relevant to our current social political climate. Oh my God. I'm not excited for this anymore, Scott. I don't want to watch this show anymore. Did you hear what she fucking said? How can Calypso? They're making Calypso a supervillain and they're making it current to these times. Oh, I wonder what they're going to do. Conveniently, he's a man. Oh my God. To our current socio-political climate, I have to say, Joy said, oh my God. Right, where are we? Ronnie Dodge, it's not the Superman I grew up reading the comics. Snyder decided to be cocky and do his thing. I want to see Henry as a Superman I know and love. That's a fair enough take. Bobcat, Batman's my second favourite superhero. Nightwing is my favourite. Well, Bobcat, you know they're developing a Nightwing, don't you? A Nightwing movie at WB. And I read the article later and you missed it because you were watching Loki. So you missed out on that news, although you probably read about it anyway. Ronnie Dodge, but I have more love for Wonder Woman. She's just as powerful as Clark and probably one of the characters who can take him on. Well, she didn't do a very good job in Justice League this year, although that was Snyder, wasn't it? I'm surprised that Wonder Woman didn't fare better against Superman. That was odd for me, don't you think? Jesus is a goat. Is there any Marvel characters you think would have a chance to defeat Superman? Well, the Incredible Hulk, for sure. Who else? Give me a few characters Jesus is a goat, because I can't think of any right now. I'm sure there are. I mean, I don't know. Could the adamantium that Logan's got defeat Superman? I'm not sure. Scott Edwards, don't judge it before you watch it, lol. Bobcat, Batman could defeat Superman. You joker. Bobcat, yeah, I heard about that. Everyone wanted Drake Bell for the role, but he's in prison now. Yeah, that's not going to happen now, is it? Unless you want to break him out or something. Elizabeth Molina, as you mentioned Wonder Woman 84 a lot, people didn't like it, but I enjoyed it. What are your thoughts on the movie? Oh, brilliant. I'm going to put this article down for a minute, Scott, because this is an important thing. I think the movie isn't the worst movie ever, Elizabeth. It's got listen, the opening in Themyscira is stunning, and I love it. I love it. It's brilliant. Oh my God, I love the young actress. I love Lily. I love her so much. I probably prefer her as Diana than to Gal. I think she's that good, and she's really sweet. And I've spoken to her on Twitter before, and she's a great kid, and she's so ever so talented. So I think that element of the film is great. I hate the male scene. I hate the old guys watching the aerobics women bending over. I think that's despicable. I think the pacing of the film is far too slow. I think the quantum leap element of Steve Trevor coming back is not good. I think the third act is sensational. It's a slow, inconsistent movie that, when finally gets going, is kind of emotional and tear-jerky. But it's also kind of a Hallmark movie as well. But when you do the second movie, Elizabeth, you should be going Empire Strikes Back, The Dark Knight. The film was too light for me. So it was okay. I can watch it in the afternoon. But compared to the first one, I'm sorry, the film has its issues. That's my opinion on it. Ronnie Dodge, I think she was holding back in Justice League against Clark, as she'd just woken up from being dead. Yeah, but when she's getting nutted, you think she'd do something, right? Rishi Mo just made it, ha ha ha. I've just watched Loki and I enjoyed it for a first episode, but it was on the slow side. Slow? Jesus Christ, it was like a freaking tortoise. You missed my reaction, I'm afraid, Richie. You have to go back for that. Ben Pottimer, Jean Grey can defeat Superman. Rip him apart, ha ha. She would be an interesting foe, that's for sure. Bobcat, it all depends. Batman could defeat Superman or Superman could defeat Batman. That sounds like something a Lost character would say from the Lost TV show. It's like, I could tell you everything that you need to know, but I won't. Ronnie Dodge, I love Lily. She's such a great little actress playing Diana. She needs a spin-off. My God, that kid's sensational. She's so talented. She's so adorable, right? I tell you what, if I was her dad, I'd be so proud of her. She's amazing. She conducts herself so well. She's brilliant. Love her to pieces. And please, Hollywood, look after her. Look after a child for once in your miserable fucking lives. Because if you don't, and I hear something's happened, you will have to deal with me. Right, that's it. I saw the parallels immediately, but I will be interested to see how fans respond to this character. But he's scary. He's really scary. On difference between seasons 1 and 2 is the fact for the second season, the show is exclusive to the CW. That's trouble. First season premiered on streaming platform DC Universe. When asked if anything will be different as a result of this change, Joy replied, "Not from what I've seen and not from what I've experienced." Ronnie, I've spoken to her a lot on Instagram. Yeah, she's cool. She really is. I'm not sure if it's her we're talking to or her parents, because if I was her parents, I wouldn't let a bunch of sweaty blokes talk to a young kid. So I'm not sure about. We're obviously speaking to someone. Richie Mo, Jean Grey would only have a chance against Supes if she was the Phoenix. Good point, Richie. So where are we? I know the fans are curious to see if that would be the case. Jeff Johns has a lot of integrity when it comes to the production value of the show, and I think having created something quite singular in season 1, he and everyone else were very aware that the expectation would be very high for season 2. This is interesting. So it looks like people do like Jeff Johns, Ray Fisher. So I don't think the fans will be disappointed in any way, not from my perspective at all. Read more from Joy's interview here, including extra Stargirl bits, some of her thoughts related to the horrific surge of the anti-Asian hate crime. And that's the article. Right, Scott, I've read it for you. I can't believe it's already 9:30 here in Cyprus. Let's give it about 5 more or 10 more minutes. I'll go over today. So we've read all the comments. Keep them going for about 5-10 minutes. I need a glass of water. And by the way, everyone say hi to Elizabeth. She's an awesome commenter on the chat. I love her questions. I think she's awesome. And we need more people like her, definitely. Not that I don't appreciate you lot, but we need some diversity here. And I like the fact she seems really intelligent and she wants to talk about stuff. So I'm really happy. Richie Mo, what you been talking about, Mick? Loki, Wonder Woman 84. We've been talking about the DCEU, the future of the DCEU. Look, and by the way, there was breaking news earlier. I read the article here as well that Nightwing, a Nightwing movie is being developed by Chris McKay, the Lego Movie director at Warner Brothers. So that's what you've missed. We talked about several things, but I can't remember them now, to be honest. And that's why it's good you have the option to go back and watch things later. These streams are funny. Sometimes you hardly get anyone in and no one's got anything to say. And sometimes it's like this. It's amazing. I'm so happy. Richie Mo, hey Elizabeth, hope you enjoy the channel. We might disagree on something, but there is always time for each other's opinions. Of course, of course. Ronnie Dodge, Warner Brothers finally have a massive plan with DC, and I bloody love it. I do too. I'm so excited, Ronnie. I think it's so exciting for loyal hardcore DC fans, especially. Did you see that advert? Did you hear about that advert Zack Snyder directed? Elizabeth Molino, I get where you're coming from on the movie. So that leads me to ask you, should Patty direct Wonder Woman 3? Absolutely not. No. I've made this point to other people, Elizabeth, and I'll make it to you. If you had the opportunity to put 2 screens up, watch Wonder Woman 2017 on one screen and Wonder Woman 84 on the other, would you think that those 2 films were directed by the same person? Because I have a theory that Snyder ghost directed the first movie. What do you think about that? Bobcat, that Nightwing news came out years ago. Did things finally start picking up again? Yes, they have. Quoted by Chris McKay. That Nightwing news that I read out tonight, Bobcat, is brand new news. It's back in development. Richie Mo, what's happening with Dick Grayson? No idea. Ronnie Dodge, watch out, Marvel. We're coming for your thunder. Definitely. Well, we don't know what's happening with Dick Grayson right now, Richie, but we do know that Chris McKay said because of the multiverse strategy, basically Nightwing has got a good chance of being done, and he's hoping to get back to work on the movie. So it's exciting. Elizabeth Molino, thanks, much appreciated. Yes, it's great to make new people welcome so they want to come back again, right? That's the idea. When I used to work behind the deli counter at the Co-op years ago, I used to be polite. All right, I'm lying. I used to scream at them. I used to go mad at them. Richie Mo, I don't think Patty would come back now. I don't want her to come back. I don't want her to come back. She clearly didn't like what was done in the first movie. In the first Wonder Woman movie, by the way, is one of the best comic book movies ever made. And she got as far away from that film as possible, and it is despicable. Say what you want about Snyder, but he put together a great movie. He brought in a great writer. They did a great job. And I think she had very little to do with that movie. Ben Pottimeyer, Snyder did help a lot with WW. He did write the story, exactly. Bobcat, I love Nightwing. He's badass, and he's loaded with comedy. Yes, I'm so excited about that being back on the table, Bobcat. Ronnie Dodge, put Wonder Woman 1984 wasn't great. Richie Mo, yes. Would it be in Zack's universe or a fresh take? Whichever it is, I'm down. Well, nothing's going to be in Zach's universe anymore. That's the whole point of the Flashpoint reboot. For example, I love Zach's movies, but do you think it was wrong for Joker to kill off Robin off screen? Don't you think that's something we could have seen in a Batman movie pre-BVS? There's too much not show and too much tell over on Vero, as far as I'm concerned with Zach. Okay, I was laughing way too much at Loki. I thought it was great. So tell me the bits you found funny, Bobcat. Ronnie Dodge, I've spoken to Patty a few times on Twitter. She seemed lovely, but yeah, Wonder Woman 1984 wasn't the best. I love Patty. As a person, she comes across intelligent and brilliant, but it sounds like it's all a blag, doesn't it? But because how did someone that comes across so intelligent make a film like that? It's unbelievable the plot holes that movie has. Unbelievable. Richie Mo, Zach 100% ghost directed Wonder Woman, just like Spielberg ghost directed Poltergeist for Tobe Hooper. I think that's a great point, Richie. John, they need to do a Red Hood movie. Well, Red Hood's going to be in Titans, but who knows what the future holds. Bobcat, the ticket thing, missed minutes. Oh, no. I thought there was better ways of explaining the multiverse. I mean, who do they think were watching it? 2-year-olds? Oh, my God. I cringed at that, Bobcat, honestly. Bobcat, just Tom and Owen in general. Tom and Owen were great, but it was basically, that episode was Loki's greatest hits. You can literally watch the movies he was in. And I do not want Loki to be a good guy. End of story, in my opinion. Bobcat, plus the Infinity Stones as paperweights. Elizabeth Molino, true, and I believe that's why Wonder Woman 84 didn't have a lot of action scenes. Yeah, she can't direct action. Isn't it, Elizabeth, right? It's a bit like Kathy Yan. At least Walter Hamada went out and got Chad, who does the John Wick movies, to try and help out, right? They bring in these people for inclusion purposes to direct movies, and they're not even proficient enough to direct action. If a man was in the same position, he'd be laughed out of fucking Hollywood. It's ridiculous. And I'm sure there's lots of women who can direct action, but there's not enough action in that film. And I think you're alluding to it there because Patty Jenkins can't direct action. And that's ridiculous. Ronnie Dodge, I'm not going to defend Patty, but I guess she wanted to take risks going old school. But it blew up in her face in a bad way. Don't hate me. I don't. Bobcat, that had me laughing so hard. Maybe I'm alone in not laughing at that. Was it meant to be funny? I think it was meant to explain that basically the things that are powerful in the real world are not powerful here in the TVA. I think that was the point, but it's good that you found it funny anyway. Right, I'm going to give you an extra 5 minutes and that's it, I'm afraid. Elizabeth Molino, Ronnie Dodge agreed. Bobcat, that had me laughing so hard. I've already read that. Listen, Patty's Elizabeth Molino. No, I've read that. But Bobcat, I mean, you said Loki is slow, but we haven't even seen Loki yet. We've seen the introduction episode. We shouldn't have had an introduction episode, right? Yeah, I get it. It's a pilot, right? I get it. But I've never seen a pilot as slow as that. Jesus Christ. They could have done so much with that 50 minutes, but they dragged their heels on purpose to drag it out. Richie Mozart was telling his story the way he wanted to. Batman was an older version with 20 years of history, so there was bound to be a story that was missing. But I think, Joker killing Robin is very iconic, Richie, and personally, I don't think you should be telling that and not showing that. Just my opinion. Bobcat, that one episode is better than the entirety of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I don't know. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. That was another inconsistent show. John, after Wonder Woman 3, do you think they will recast? Possibly. Bobcat, we needed an intro episode to explain everything. It never felt slow to me. It did to me. I don't think we needed over 50 minutes to introduce everything. It's a very small cast as well, Bobcat. I mean, come on. They've only got 6 episodes. You know, they gave us, the first episode was literally a filler. As I say, Loki's greatest hit. Ronnie Dodge, we are getting another Wonder Woman with Gal, but I don't know who's directing it, Patty or not. Well, I hope that Patty's not doing it, but who knows? Ben Pottimeyer, I agree, Richie. I think Joker killing Robin is huge, huge. And if you don't want to show it, maybe don't do it. Maybe there's other things to fill in the blanks about, but not that. That's far too iconic. I'm sorry. That's my opinion. It's like jumping Clark meeting Lois Lane or something. And then Snyder going on Vero and saying, oh, by the way, they did date for a little while, but then she got murdered by Darkseid. Bobcat, WandaVision is still my favourite, and Agatha is my favourite of second favourite MCU villains. I thought Agatha was an underwhelming villain, but I did like WandaVision. I think the first few episodes were very brilliant and revolutionary, but then they just went to old school MCU again. But I liked it. Ronnie Dodge, maybe Wonder Woman 3 action needs to be like Aquaman, action, action, action. Well, you know, because that director can do it all. Dialogue and action. That's what directors should be able to do. But clearly, Patty isn't proficient enough to even direct action. That's problematic. Richie Moe, he might have had flashbacks planned for JL2 and JL3. Yeah, maybe. You need to do a film about that. You need to do a film about that. Come on. It is iconic. Bobcat, it might be my favourite thing in the MCU. Bobcat, it just seemed new. Yes, sometimes new is good, but sometimes being different for different sake, aka Zack Snyder, doesn't always work. But I like what Zack did, by the way. I like WandaVision. I don't really have I think the only problem, my problem is Agatha. I found her underwhelming. I think that WandaVision's villain should have been the Phase 4 villain, and that should have been Wanda. Ronnie Dodge, JL2 and JL3, that will never be sorry to burst your bubble for now. Rishi Mo, Wonder Woman 3 needs to be a big adventure with Greek gods and other villains like Silver Swan in it. I would absolutely love that. John, got to go. See you tomorrow. Well, I'll be off in a minute as well, John, but thanks for the support. Thanks for the comments, and I'll see you tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow morning for the Big Mouth Daily Live. Articles, updates, any news that's going, that will be tomorrow. Bobcat, Wanda could have been the villain, and we could still had Agatha. That's true. Maybe as a secondary villain, Agatha would have been more effective. Maybe that's what she was, and they changed their minds. They chickened out. Ronnie Dodge, I want Cersei as the villain for Wonder Woman 3. Richie Mo, good night, everyone. Richie Mo, good night. Watch the bed bugs don't bite. We're going to have to sign off now, everyone, I'm afraid. I'm going to say this. A stream has never gone this fast before because you've been absolutely fantastic. You've been commenting, you've been passionate, you've been great. On some streams, the time goes slow because people aren't really coming in. They're not very talkative. When you're like this, it makes me on my game, it excites me, and it makes the stream an enjoyable experience. So keep up the good work. Bobcat, that's what it was, but they changed it and blamed it on COVID. Exactly, Bobcat. Now I know you're a clever bloke. Bobcat, see you, everyone. Ronnie Dodge, see you guys. Take care. Bobcat, leave a like, everyone. Thank you, Bobcat. Pay you later. Ben Pottimeyer, bye you all. It's been an absolutely fantastic stream, and it kills me to have to end it. It really does. Bobcat, see you, chat. See you, Mickey. Bye, Bobcat. See you tomorrow. So I think that is it. I think we're going to say good night. It's been absolutely fantastic. Thank you, every single person who's come in the stream, every single person who's smashed a like, every single person who's commented. Elizabeth Molino, the MCU shows of recently have been good. Have we seen the end of the MCU? Oh, sorry, I say that again. The MCU shows recently hasn't been good. Have we seen the end of the MCU? I don't think it's the end of the MCU, and I think it's going to take the audience a long time to go off the MCU. People will stand this franchise, even if they keep on being given mediocrity. People are so biased and in love with it, they can't see it for what it is, Elizabeth. So for now, it's going to carry on going strong, no matter how low the quality is. Ronnie Dodge, there was rumours that Wonder Woman 3 takes place on Themyscira. How awesome would that be? I remember that. Richie Mo, why do you think Snyder post MOS Nightmare pics? I think, well, it's interesting that Mikey Sutton's been saying Superman's going to wear the black costume in Black Adam. Maybe it's a hint that he knows Superman's wearing black in that movie and the Snyder Cut is canon. But again, with the reboot of the universe, how can that be a thing? Because it seems unlikely he's hinting the restoration of the Snyderverse, considering what he's been saying for the past few weeks. So very, very interesting, Richie. Anyway, thank you very much, everyone. It's been a fantastic stream. Back tomorrow morning, just after 9 a.m. UK time for the Big Mouth Daily Live updates, articles, then here in the evening, as usual, for Big Mouth Live, where we're just having a chat like we've been doing tonight. It's been absolutely fantastic. Ronnie Dodge, doesn't Black Adam come out before The Flash? Yes, it does. That's interesting, isn't it? That is interesting. Richie Mo, who has said Supes is in Black Adam? Is it true? No confirmation. You probably won't have confirmation about that one. But pretty much the whispers are that's what's happening. I believe that's what's happening. Everyone should start getting excited. But yeah, don't expect any major announcement at this point, maybe ever. It's meant to be a surprise, I think. So we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully no camera people with their zoom lenses catch Henry. That would spoil it. Ronnie Dodge, see you later. Yes, see you later, everyone. It's been a great stream. See you tomorrow. Follow me on Twitter at Movies TV Mad. Until then, goodbye. Thanks for the support, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Till then, goodbye. Thank you, Richie. Hit the like, people. Richie Mo, brilliant. Thanks for the support. See you later.